You've been lied to. For years, the education system, your parents, and those study with me influencers have convinced you of a dangerous myth, that your grades are a direct reflection of how many hours you suffer at your desk. We've been conditioned to believe that the student who stays in the library until 4 a.m., fueled by nothing but lukewarm espresso and desperation, is the one who deserves the A. But let's be honest, how many times have you spent 6 hours studying only to realize that 4 of those hours were spent scrolling through TikTok, reorganizing your highlighters, or staring at the same paragraph until the words lost all meaning? You're not actually working, you're just performing the act of being busy. This is the trap of toxic productivity, and it is killing your grades and your mental health. What if I told you that the highest achievers, the Ivy League outliers, and the people who seem to have it all figured out actually study less than you? What if the secret to becoming a straight-A student isn't about working harder, but about building a system so precise that you can compress an entire day's worth of learning in just 12 minutes? Today, I'm going to tear down everything you thought you knew about learning. I'm going to show you the exact biological and psychological blueprint I used to stop failing and start dominating my classes by studying for only 2 hours a day. This isn't a collection of productivity hacks. This is a complete rewiring of your brain. By the end of this video, you won't just have a new schedule, you'll have a competitive advantage that most people won't find in a lifetime.
Let's start with a painful truth: the illusion of competence. Have you ever read a chapter, highlighted the important parts, and felt like you totally got it, only to blank out the moment the exam paper hit your desk? That is the illusion. Your brain confuses recognition with mastery. Just because your eyes have seen the information doesn't mean your brain has stored it. For the modern student, especially for Gen Z and millennials, this problem is amplified by a digital world designed to shatter our attention spans. We are living in a state of continuous partial attention. We study with one eye on our notes and the other on a notification. This creates attention residue, where your brain is still processing that last Instagram meme while you're trying to understand organic chemistry. To fix this, we don't need more time. We need a sniper environment. The first phase of the 2-hour system is what I call environment architecture. You cannot win a war if your base is under constant attack. Most people think they have poor willpower, but the truth is they just have a poor environment. If your phone is within arm's reach, you have already lost. Research shows that even if your phone is turned off and face down, its mere presence reduces your cognitive capacity. You are subconsciously using energy to not check it. In this 2-hour system, we practice digital minimalism. Before you start your timer, your phone goes into phone jail, another room, a locked drawer, or an app like Forest or Flora that kills your digital distractions. You are turning your study space into a vacuum. No noise, no notifications, no just checking one thing. You are either 100% on or 100% off. There is no middle ground.
Now, let's talk about the clock. You've probably heard of the Pomodoro technique: 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest. It's a classic, but for high-level cognitive tasks, it's often flawed. Why? Because it breaks your flow state. It takes the human brain an average of 23 minutes to reach a state of deep focus. If you stop at 25 minutes, you are quitting just as your brain is becoming elite. Instead, we use Flowmodoro. You don't set a timer for 25 minutes, you set a stopwatch. You work until your focus naturally begins to flicker. Maybe that's 50 minutes, maybe it's 90. Only then do you take a break. In our 2-hour system, we aim for 2 deep work sprints of 50 to 60 minutes each. This is where the magic happens. In these 2 hours, because you have 0 distractions and total flow, you will achieve more than a standard student achieves in an 8-hour library session. But what do you actually do during those 2 hours? Most students spend their time inputting, reading, listening, watching. This is passive, it's easy, and it's useless. To learn at a superhuman rate, you must switch to output-based learning. This brings us to the core of the system: active recall and spaced repetition 2.0. If you aren't struggling to remember the information, you aren't learning. Learning is a biological process of building neural pathways, and those pathways only get stronger when they are forced to retrieve information.
Stop taking beautiful, aesthetic notes that you'll never read. Instead, use the question evidence method. For every piece of information you read, write down a question that would lead to that answer. Your notes shouldn't be a summary, they should be a test. This is where we integrate the power of AI. In 2026, you are working at a disadvantage if you aren't using tools like ChatGPT or Claude as your personal tutor. Take your lecture slides, feed them into the AI, and ask it to generate 10 high-level conceptual questions based on this material. Now, your study session is no longer about reading, it's about a battle between you and the questions. If you can't answer a question, that is exactly where your focus needs to be. This is sniper learning. You aren't carpet bombing your brain with information, you are hitting the gaps in your knowledge with surgical precision. To ensure this information sticks forever, we use spaced repetition. Your brain is designed to forget. It's a survival mechanism. If you don't use it, you lose it. But if you revisit the information just as you're about to forget it, the brain flags it as vital. We use digital flashcard systems like Anki or Remnote to automate this. It takes 10 minutes a day to clear your deck, but those 10 minutes are worth more than 5 hours of cramming the night before an exam. You are essentially hacking the forgetting curve. Before we move into the final, most powerful technique, I need to ask you something. Why are you doing this? If your only goal is a letter on a transcript, you will burn out. The most successful people I know don't just study for the grade, they study to master the world around them. If you're finding value in this systematic approach to self-mastery, hit the subscribe button and join our community. We are a tribe of people who refuse to accept the hustle harder mantra and instead choose to systemize better. Let us know in the comments what your biggest struggle is right now. Is it the phone, the motivation, or the material? We're in this together.
Now, let's unlock the teach-back technique, also known as the Feynman technique, but with a modern twist. The ultimate test of your knowledge is whether you can explain a complex concept to a 5-year-old. If you can't, you don't understand it. In the last 15 minutes of your 2-hour block, I want you to open a voice recorder on your phone or stand in front of a mirror. Explain the most difficult concept you learned today as if you were teaching a beginner. Don't use jargon, don't use big words to hide your confusion. If you stumble, go back to your notes. That stumble is your map to mastery. Here is the 2026 AI hack. Record your explanation and upload the transcript to an AI. Ask it, identify the logical gaps or inaccuracies in my explanation. The AI will tell you exactly where your understanding is weak. This feedback loop is the fastest way to achieve straight A status. You are essentially coaching yourself using the world's most powerful database. But here is the part everyone forgets: recovery. You don't actually learn while you are at your desk. You learn while you sleep. During the REM cycle, your brain takes the short-term memories from your deep work sprints and saves them into long-term storage. If you study for 10 hours and sleep for 4, you are literally deleting your own work. This is why the 2-hour system is so effective. Because it only takes 2 hours, you have the time to live a real life. You have time to go for a walk, to hit the gym, to eat actual food, and most importantly, to sleep 8 hours. When you go for a walk without your headphones, your brain enters diffused mode. It starts making connections between ideas that it couldn't see while you were staring at the screen. Some of your biggest aha moments will happen while you're washing dishes or walking the dog. This isn't wasted time, this is processing time. By restricting your focused study to 2 hours, you give your brain the breathing room it needs to actually grow.
Finally, we need to address the imposter syndrome that often comes with this. You might feel guilty. You'll see your friends sitting in the library for 12 hours, looking exhausted and dedicated, and you'll feel like a fraud because you're done in 2. Do not let their inefficiency make you feel guilty for your effectiveness. We aren't interested in the theater of hard work. We are interested in results. The 2-hour system is about more than just grades. It's about reclaiming your time. It's about realizing that you are not a machine designed to produce. You are a human being designed to learn, to create, and to experience. When you master your focus, you master your life. You stop being a slave to the syllabus and start being the architect of your own intellect. So here is my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, I want you to commit to the 2-hour tribe challenge. No more marathon study sessions. 2 hours of deep work, sniper environment, Flowmodoro timing, active recall questions, AI-verified teaching, and 8 hours of sleep. Just 7 days. Watch what happens to your stress levels. Watch what happens to your clarity. And most importantly, watch what happens when you realize that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined, with far less suffering than you were told was necessary. Your grades do not define you. Your worth is not a GPA, but your systems define your freedom. Build a system that works for you, so you don't have to spend your life working for the system. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive even deeper into the psychology of high performance. Until then, get off YouTube, put your phone in jail, and go dominate those 2 hours. You've got this.